The A10 tournament tips off in Brooklyn tonight with both VCU and Richmond having games coming up on Friday. 8 Sports anchor Mitch Carr is live at the Barclays Center with a preview. Good afternoon, Mitch.
Right here behind me at the Barclays Center, right at the corner of Atlantic and Fifth, there's going to be a whole lot of basketball played starting tonight and ending on Sunday. Now, as for the teams that you really care about, the Richmond Spiders and VCU Rams, Richmond is already here. They start tomorrow night at 6:30 against Duquesne. So they arrived yesterday and stayed in their hotel last night. They've got a practice that is scheduled for later today. As far as the VCU Rams go, they are in transit right now going up the highway. They're supposed to arrive around 5:30, and they'll check into their hotel tonight. They have a practice scheduled for tomorrow and a shoot-around as well for Friday morning. Now, something to keep an eye on is if Richmond wins tomorrow night against Duquesne at 6:30, they will then play VCU at 6:30 on Friday night. So it'll be a third matchup of the Spiders and the Rams. If you remember, VCU beat Richmond twice during the regular season. So keep it right here on 8 News, and we will keep you updated on the latest going on in the Atlantic 10 tournament live from Brooklyn. Reporting live from Brooklyn, Mitch Carr, 8 Sports.
Thanks, Mitch. Meanwhile, a group of VCU students feel like they hit the jackpot today after Rams fans donated enough money to send them to the A10 tourney on Friday. Organizers just put the campaign on GoFundMe.com yesterday, and they have already raised much more than their original $8,000 goal. Donations are pouring in from fans, students, and alumni, including a $1,000 contribution from former Ram Eric Maynor, who now plays for the Philadelphia 76ers. If you're interested in contributing, just go to the website GoFundMe.com/bookit-to-Brooklyn.
Welcome back. The Atlantic 10 tournament opens tonight with a play-in game between George Mason and Fordham. Richmond tips off in a little more than 24 hours in Brooklyn, and that's where we find 8 Sports anchor Mitch Carr.
Good evening, Phil. I'm coming to you from the corner of Atlantic and Flatbush here in Brooklyn, and we are just a little over 24 hours away from the Richmond Spiders tip-off against Duquesne. The Spiders got here Tuesday, slept in their hotel last night, had a practice earlier today, and they will have one more shoot-around before taking on Duquesne Thursday at 6:30.
Our ultimate goal is to win the whole thing, so we're working towards that each and every game, each and every possession. We got to take it that much serious. It's do or die right now.
We definitely have to focus in on this game because, you know, it's tournament time and anything can happen.
If Richmond wins that game, they will play VCU. As for the Rams, they arrived in Brooklyn today and checked into their hotel. They'll have a shoot-around and a practice tomorrow, and then another shoot-around before their 6:30 game on Friday. Coach Smart said doesn't matter if they play Richmond or Duquesne, they're going to prepare equally for both.
We're going to be ready for Richmond and Duquesne, and then whichever one of them we play, our guys will be excited, but we're not assuming who we're going to play. We're not focusing on any type of rivalries right now. We're just trying to get ready for our team to play its best basketball for 3 games.
And I'll be back with more A10 tournament coverage at 11. Back to you, Phil.
Welcome back. The Atlantic 10 tournament underway tonight, but things get much more interesting tomorrow when Richmond opens up against Duquesne in Brooklyn. That's where we find 8 Sports anchor Mitch Carr.
Fordham and George Mason started things off tonight for the Atlantic 10 tournament, and the Richmond Spiders were in the stands. The team sat and watched the tournament's first game just to get a feel for the arena in which they'll be playing in less than 24 hours. Coach Chris Mooney and Spider guard Wayne Sparrow told me it was a good way to get into game mode.
It's the same ball, it's the same hoop, and you just got to be able to put it in at the end of the day.
Because there are games all day, no team gets to have the shoot-around. So just to be over there and just get a feel for the arena, you know, and so it doesn't take the place of a shoot-around, but certainly gets you a little bit more familiar with the environment.
VCU arrived in soggy Brooklyn tonight around 6:15, and that was an hour later than they intended, and you can blame New York, New Jersey rush hour traffic for that. Tonight they'll rest, and tomorrow they'll practice, then sit back and watch Richmond and Duquesne.
For me as a coach and for our coaching staff, it's a very busy time, but it's one of the big reasons why we do this. I mean, if you could pick any month to be a coach, it would be this month.
Tomorrow we'll have updates for you about VCU and Richmond, and we will also have highlights of Richmond's 6:30 game against Duquesne. Back to you, Phil.
The Atlantic 10 tournament officially tipped off last night. Today there are more games on schedule, and one of them involves the Richmond Spiders. 8 Sports anchor Mitch Carr is live in Brooklyn for us now with more. Mitch?
I am right here in the Barclays Center in the middle of things. You can hear it's getting pretty loud behind me because St. Bonaventure and LaSalle just tipped off. After this, we're going to have another game at 2:30, and then at 6:30, it's the Richmond Spiders and Duquesne. So earlier today, the Richmond Spiders had a shoot-around, not here. They had a shoot-around at the University, Long Island, Brooklyn, that is very close to them. And then they'll get here about 2 hours before game time, have a decent light meal, get ready for the game at 6:30. As for VCU, they don't play until Friday, of course, so they have a practice scheduled for today, then another shoot-around, and then they can take it easy and just watch Richmond and Duquesne fight it out and see who they're going to play tomorrow. Now make sure you tune in at 6 and 11, because at 6 we're going to have an update right before Richmond tips off, and at 11 o'clock we will have highlights of Richmond's game against Duquesne. Reporting live from the Atlantic 10 tournament in Brooklyn, New York, Mitch Carr, 8 Sports.
Thank you, Mitch.
On to college sports. We're just minutes from the tip-off of Richmond and Duquesne in the Atlantic 10 tournament in Brooklyn. 8 Sports anchor Mitch Carr is on location at the Barclays Center with a look at both Richmond and VCU.
It is do-or-die time for the Richmond Spiders. They ended the season on a 4-game losing streak, but that's okay because they can put all that behind them with 4 straight wins here at the Atlantic 10 tournament in Brooklyn. If they're able to make some sort of Cinderella run, junior guard Kendall Anthony will be a huge part of it, but he says he won't be doing it alone.
It's a lot on me, but I think I can handle it. I think my teammates have my back. You know, they'll help me. You know, so it helps me get shots. It helps me, you know, play better with them and really out there on the floor, helping me, you know, run the offense, things like that.
As for the other stuff besides Duquesne, maybe a possible rematch with VCU or an improbable run to winning the whole tournament and making the NCAA tournament, Richmond guard Wayne Sparrow didn't want to think about anything but the game he's about to play.
We're not so much confident as it is just ready to play. We don't want to overlook anyone, especially Duquesne, even though we beat them before. There's no chance to stay on the back burner and worry about the next team we may have to play. We definitely have to focus in on this game.
Head coach Chris Mooney told me the key to beating Duquesne will be defense, both the Spiders' D and the opposition's defense.
Most importantly, we want to make sure we play good defense. We feel like that's been our hallmark all season. We want to make sure we play good defense for all 40 minutes. I think secondly, we want to make sure that we have an understanding of how they're going to defend us, how they've shown they've defended us in the past, and make sure we have the right plan of attack and get good shots.
And we'll have highlights of Richmond's game against Duquesne tonight at 11. Now, how about those VCU Rams? They can afford to rest now because they don't play until Friday. So today they practiced, and tonight they'll watch Richmond and Duquesne play because the Rams play the winner of that one. VCU head coach Shaka Smart says playing 3 or 4 games in a weekend can be a grind, but that may actually help VCU out.
Players are tough. Players are used to gritting it out and playing multiple games in a day in AAU. But I do think with the style of play that we try to play, you know, hopefully we can play a lot of guys and we can make fatigue an issue in games like that.
Spider highlights and more from Coach Smart and the Rams coming up at 11. In Brooklyn, Mitch Carr, 8 Sports.
Welcome back. The VCU Rams, the Richmond Spiders, and their fans are all over New York this week for the Atlantic 10 basketball tournament. VCU doesn't play until tomorrow, but Richmond played tonight and needed to win to have any hope of making it to the big dance. 8 Sports anchor Mitch Carr is with the teams in Brooklyn.
Good evening, Christina. During the regular season, the VCU Rams and Richmond Spiders played 2 great games, and with a win tonight, the Richmond Spiders would earn the right to play the Rams a 3rd time, but they had to get through Duquesne first. Before the game entering the Barclays Center, Terry Allen in a zone. He was pretty much in a zone on the court as well. First half, Spiders are down by 2. Not anymore. Allen gets the and one. He'd hit the free throw and put Richmond up by 1. Then the Spiders hit a barrage of 3s. There's one from Allen, then one from Kendall Anthony, and another from Alonzo Nelson Adota. But Duquesne would not let Richmond pull away. Dominique McCoy gets the lay-in. Richmond led by 6 at the half. In the second half, well, how about more Terry Allen? Chandre Jones dishes to Allen for the lay-in. A couple plays later, that combination works so well, let's try it again. Jones to Allen for the layup. Allen had a career-high 27 points. Richmond gets the win 76-64. They will play VCU for the 3rd time this season, Friday at 6:30.
I saw a lot of opportunities one-on-one, and I tried to attack that.
I thought our defense was good. It was really hard for Duquesne to get into a rhythm, and I think that was really the most critical part of the game.
I'm looking at the last game when we played. I think we played a good game, but we just didn't hit enough shots to close the game. I think if we play like we played against VCU our last game, I think we will win.
When the ball's thrown for the tip tomorrow, I think guys will be ready to play and anxious, and there'll be a lot of energy in the building.
Again, VCU Richmond Part 3 is coming your way Friday at 6:30. So I'm sticking around. We're all sticking around. 8 Sports is going to have you covered from right here in Brooklyn. We're going to be ready, and VCU is going to be ready too. VCU freshman Mo Ali Cox says he's excited to play here in the Barclays Center because it feels like a home away from home for the Rams.
Because the fans are always calling your name or like trying to come over and talk to you. And when you look up, you see a lot of black and gold there. And like our intro video played there that we normally play at the home game, so they got real loud during that.
As for Coach Smart, he said he'd prepare for both Duquesne and Richmond, and now he knows it'll be the Spiders. Regardless of this crosstown rivalry, though, Coach Smart says every A-10 game is a big one against a tough opponent.
There's a lot of teams that have a legitimate chance to win the A-10 tournament. And I think if anyone went in saying, we know exactly what's going to happen, either they have a crystal ball or they're lying. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
Keep watching 8 Sports for the latest on VCU and Richmond Part 3. This time it's in Brooklyn, and this time the season is on the line. Reporting tonight from Brooklyn, New York, Mitch Carr, 8 Sports.
Well, it's round 3. The VCU Rams take on the Richmond Spiders tonight in the A-10 tournament. 8 News Sports anchor Mitch Carr is live with some VCU fans getting ready for the game. Mitch?
All right, I'm in the middle of some very rowdy Rams right now. We're on Washington Street in Brooklyn, and we're not the only ones that came up to Richmond. As you can see, you got plenty of VCU fans here behind me in Brooklyn. And check out this shirt. Stomp the Spiders back to Richmond. That's what they want to do. Of course, the Spiders are hoping to win against the Rams for the first time this season, and that game tips off tonight at 6:30 at the Barclays Center. Don't forget, we will be there at 6:30. We'll have an update for you during the 6 o'clock news at 8, and then we will have highlights for you tonight at 11 o'clock. This is going to be a great event, and you know these kids are all excited about it. Reporting live in Brooklyn, Mitch Carr, 8 Sports.
I love their spirit there. Thanks, Mitch.
Well, this morning, a group of VCU students hit the road, headed for Brooklyn for the A-10 tournament. 50 rowdy Rams boarded the bus about 6:30. Students were able to pay for the trip with donations from a GoFundMe account, and VCU supporters, alumni, students, Shaka and Maya Spart, they all donated, helping the campaign collect more than $14,000. Of course, March Madness is here. The River City gearing up for a big game tonight between University of Richmond and VCU.
8 News Sports reporter Mitch Carr is in Brooklyn with the story. Mitch?
We're still about an hour and a half away from tip-off of round 3 between VCU and Richmond, but we are just minutes away from both teams arriving here in the bus bay. They'll come down this elevator and go below ground, and then both teams will exit the bus. They'll enter their locker room. Once they get out of the locker room, they will shoot around, and then they will continue to practice, get warmed up, and get in that game mode for that 6:30 tip-off. Again, we're going to come back to you at 5:30 and give you an update then, and we'll have highlights tonight at 11 as well as an update for you in the sports segment at 6 o'clock. Reporting from the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York, Mitch Carr, 8 Sports.
Thank you, Mitch. Let's hope the home team wins.
There is a big showdown between the River City universities today.
The University of Richmond, VCU going head-to-head.
8 Sports reporter Mitch Carr is in Brooklyn at the A-10 tournament with a preview.
We're just about an hour from game time, which means there's a bit of a quiet moment on the Barclays Center court, and there haven't been many of those today. We had 2 incredible games to precede Richmond and VCU. First, you had St. Bonaventure, which was a 9 seed, had no business beating the number 1 seed, but they did so, beating St. Louis on a buzzer beater. And then St. Joseph's and Dayton played to a great game. So we're expecting a great game between Richmond and VCU. Both teams are here right now. They'll be taking the court again pretty soon in order to continue to warm up. Then they will take the court for good and tip off at 6:30. We'll have one more update for you right before tip-off right here on 8 News, so keep it tuned in here for the latest coverage of the Atlantic 10 men's basketball tournament from the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York. Reporting from Brooklyn, Mitch Carr, 8 Sports.
Well, just under a half hour until the VCU Rams take on the UR Spiders. 50 students known as the Rowdy Rams boarded a bus this morning to head to the game thanks to donations from VCU supporters. 8 News reporter Mitch Carr has more on the fans.
Kenner Fortner started the day in Richmond, and then
I rode a huge bus funded by alumni and other friends of VCU.
Now he's one of 4 dozen Rowdy Rams in Brooklyn for the Atlantic 10 tournament after a bus ride paid for by the internet.
It was awesome. I slept for most of it, but we watched Space Jam. That was fun.
More specifically, alumni set up a GoFundMe account online. It raised more than $13,000 when the target goal was just $8,000.
I think it was really successful just because, you know, people really do care about VCU students. They care about our fans.
Brendan Hood helped organize the trip.
The greatest part about this trip is, you know, the people that donated and the people that put it all together, they're not even on the bus. It was a very selfless act.
It's VCU as a whole. Like, it's about the community and everything like that. It's just everyone really supports each other.
And now there's only one thing left to do. Cheer.
It's going to be insane. I came here last year, followed them, so now I'm here again, and it's crazy.
Hopefully people on this bus will get everyone else rowdy in the arena, and I think that's going to happen, and, you know, hopefully have a win come out of it.
In Brooklyn, Mitch Carr, 8 News.
One of our busiest sports days of the year continues with VCU and Richmond. The two are set to play for a 3rd time this season at the A10 tournament in Brooklyn. The game tips off at 6:30, and 8 Sports anchor Mitch Carr is there.
VCU is 2-0 against the Richmond Spiders this year and looking to make it 3-0 tonight at their home away from home right here at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn. In February, Havoc wore down the Spiders at the Siegel Center. VCU won by 11, and Richmond lost senior guard Cedric Lindsay for the season with 2 torn menisci. And just 8 days ago, VCU came from behind to beat a pumped-up Spider team playing in a rocking, newly renovated Robins Center. Richmond head coach Chris Mooney says it helps that his Spiders got a confidence-building win last night.
You know, it's going to be a quick turnaround, and so you hope that the fact that we've played benefits us more than the fact that they had time off benefits them.
Spider sophomore guard Terry Allen told me last night if the Spiders play like they did on March 6th, a game in which they led for a long time, then they can beat VCU.
We kind of had went on a bad shooting spree, and we couldn't lick a shot. And VCU went on a run.
We know it'll be an intense game. We know that the pressure is excellent, and we're going to have to play really well to be competitive and make sure that we do some things that we've done well in the previous 2 games and improve upon the things that we think we can.
Now, this is Brooklyn. This is the Barclays Center. This is the Atlantic 10 tournament. But VCU head coach Shaka Smart said VCU is just trying to treat this like any other game, no matter if it's a crosstown rival in a tournament or just a regular season game.
You know, for us, we're going to focus on one game at a time. And this week, just try to get our guys ready to play high-level basketball.
VCU freshman guard and Richmond native Jordan Burgess is throwing the rivalry talk aside. He said they know Richmond well, but that doesn't mean this game will be easy.
Well, Richmond, we've already played twice, so we know a lot. We just played them, so I already know a lot about them and their system. It'll be another tough one on back because it'll be hard to beat a team 3 times in 1 year.
Spiders Rams Volume 3 tip-off is just minutes away, and we will have highlights for you later tonight at 11. In Brooklyn, New York, Mitch Carr, 8 Sports.
Our 8 News reporter Mitch Carr was in New York tonight for the game. He brings us the sights and sounds from Brooklyn.
VCU beat the Richmond Spiders twice during the regular season in this year, and with a win at the Barclays Center Friday night, they would not only sweep the Spiders and beat them for a 3rd time, they would also be the highest seed remaining in the Atlantic 10 tournament. That's because earlier on Friday, St. Bonaventure, a Cinderella, beat St. Louis, the #1 seed, on a buzzer beater. Terry Allen carried the Spiders Thursday against Duquesne, but this first half belonged to Briante Weber. Early in that first half, Weber spins, hits the jumper in the lane. Not known as a scorer, but it's something that he can do. A few plays later, Weber, on the other side of the official, gets the steal from Kendall Anthony. He's going to take it coast to coast for the jam. He had VCU's first 6 points and 14 in the first half. The Spiders' Terry Allen kept them close on Friday night. This 3 kept them within 10, but then VCU blew it open and included Mo Ali Cox. Post-up jam on Alonzo Nelson Adota. VCU led by 16 at the half. In the second half, more of the same. Spiders playing hard. Allen drives, gets the lay-in, but it was not enough. VCU just keeps coming. Weber hits Jordan Burgess for the 3. It's good. VCU gets the win 71-53. They move on, and Richmond goes home.
This game I actually circled because I wanted to play him so bad, and I just wanted to be on the court this time because it was a close game. I just came out attacking it, and my luck, it was a good luck day.
I think we played pretty well on the defensive end. Anytime you can hold a team in the 50s is big. So we're just going to need to continue to build our momentum defensively. Offensively, we just need to attack, be the aggressors. That's the biggest key.
I think we could just take from it that we need to get better, that we have the opportunity to get better when there's time, and that's going to require a lot of effort, but we have the opportunity to get better.
By virtue of that 18-point win, VCU earns the right to play again at 4 o'clock on Saturday. We will have highlights for you at 6 o'clock on Saturday, so keep it with 8 News, and we'll keep you updated on just how far the Rams go. Reporting from the A10 tournament in Brooklyn, New York, Mitch Carr, 8 Sports.